This is exciting. First of all, movie is great, and also
Thank you.
just my pleasure. And just been a fan of yours for a while now, which I'm sure sounds weird when you're like, I'm not that old.
No,
It's weird.
not at all. Not at all, man. I've been doing it for a long time.
Hey, listen, you're a veteran actor. Hey, you can listen. How many people can rattle off the list of people that you've worked with already and be like, listen, you can call Seth Rogen. He'll vouch for me.
Thank you, man. Yeah, it's true.
Uh, so I'm curious. Obviously, when you know this kind of role is available and something you could potentially be a part of, it's got to be exciting. But is it different anyway to do voice work or to work with Pixar when I'm sure you've watched the movies and you kind of know that it's animation, but it's a little bit different and the emotions are a little raised.
Yeah.
Do you prepare differently?
I mean, there's a whole different set of acting, really. I mean, it's very different from live action because when you're in live action, I mean, especially the live action roles that I've played really like I guess dramatic roles
Yeah.
in drama. So, the acting has to be really real. But, in an animation like this, you kind of get to like let go of that, I guess, and you can kind of have fun and to like learn how to like express those like all in your voice. You can't really use like facial expressions, I guess. It's definitely a learning curve, but it's also really, really fun. And Enrico, the director, he really likes improv, and I love improv too. So he, kind of allowed me to go off script sometimes, which is really fun.
Is that also helpful when like in the back of your mind, like, okay, I would normally do this line, and my eyes would be wide, or my hands would be moving, and that's
Yeah.
like the Luca might look like that, but the
Mhm.
role, whatever you're doing, you have to focus more on your voice. Is it helpful to be able to do it, a bunch of different times and change the words around and find your way?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I guess everyone like speaks differently. So if you like rearrange a sentence to like put like one word first, if it's more comfortable to they're always open to that. So yeah, it was really nice. I had a lot of creative freedom, which was awesome.
Is it how do you make sure that that's not overwhelming? Obviously, it's a skill to improv.
Yeah,
Plenty of people freeze when you just go like, okay, do anything. you
yeah,
know,
it's
when you
true.
know you can, yeah, when you know you can do, a variety of different things, how do you sort of like focus your brain, I guess is the way to put it, like
Yeah.
to make sure you're on, you're
Uh-huh.
thinking like Luca.
Yeah, I kind of struggled doing improv like at the beginning of my career, but I did Good Boys, and that's a big comedy movie, and during that I learned so much about improv. And so yeah, I mean I learned a lot from that film, and I'm able to bring that kind of skill I learned onto other roles like this one.
Yeah.
I've kind of learned, I guess a big rule in improv, I think, is just like not say no. You just have to go
Yeah,
for it.
exactly. I mean, I imagine some of the language changes from Good Boys. I imagine,
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
though the outtakes would be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. For like sometimes it'd be funny because like you would be like rambling on improv for like a minute, and it's like it's not even part of the scene.
Yeah. Um, and then even just when this is a thing that you're going to prep for, did you sort of in the back of your mind try to do your prep work differently because you're auditioning for something where you're not going to be seen? Is that any different?
I don't think I really did any prep, I guess. I mean, I had done like smaller voice roles
Yeah.
before this one. Well, this was my first big one for sure. But I mean, I guess it was just learn as you go, that kind of situation.
Mhm. And then the accent's a little bit different because it's not super strong, but
Yeah.
it definitely fits the character. Like you don't have
Yeah.
that suspension of disbelief. So is that how did you have to work with someone on that?
See, I had a vocal coach, but it was really interesting what they did because they had me speak in, my regular Canadian American accent,
Yeah.
but on certain Italian words or even like sentences, like they would want me to pronounce it like in Italian, like in Italian accent. So I'd have to like roll my R's and that kind of stuff. And I already do know how to do that. I'm decent at accents, but so yeah, it was really fun to kind of play around with that.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's one of those things I feel like you can either do or not do, and you learn it very young when you're in like Spanish class or Italian class. You go, I can't do that. And
Yeah,
then
for
you do it
sure.
really well. Yeah. But no, that's because it like you said, it's not every word. It's just rolling the R's and like
Mhm.
silencio
Yeah.
Bruno needs to come out in a certain way. it sort of accentuates the character. So it really
Yeah,
does. It goes a lot towards the work there. So that's really impressively done.
yeah, absolutely, and especially like sometimes I would like maybe like it go to the point where I'm trying too hard, I guess. Like I'm
Mhm.
trying to like make this word sound too Italian when like sometimes you just pronounce the Italian word like how you would regularly pronounce it. So it can kind of get confusing, but yeah, it was really fun.
Cool. Then just when you're doing voice work, obviously you're still working with other people, but it's not, your interactions are a little bit different. How do you make sure that the chemistry is there? Because that's the thing that makes this so good is you care about their friendship.
Yeah, I mean that's really interesting. And I'm actually glad you brought that up because um the chemistry, we never really worked with each other and I'd never met Jack before. But I watched the movie and our chemistry is so good somehow. It just looked like it worked, and I have to really give props to Enrico, the director, because I think he did a really good job there.
Is it different when you're doing this? Because like you said, you have to trust that he's gonna make it work. When you're on set, you can probably tell, oh, this is going really well, or maybe
Yeah,
sometimes this isn't going as well as I hope. But mostly the
absolutely.
former. Here, you can feel confident that your voice work sounded good, but until you see it, there's so much of it that you don't have any clue how it turns out. How does it feel to sort of like put your faith in the director?
It's true. I mean, I always trusted Enrico from the get-go. He just seemed like a really creative guy. He seemed to like really know what he was doing. And then obviously when I watched the movie, I was just blown away. I think he's very, very talented and I'm really excited to, see his work in the future. So yeah, I'm gonna be a big fan of him for
Oh yeah.
forever.
He was actually one of the very first interviews I ever did for his short La Luna years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is like 10 years ago, longer than 10 years ago, back when I even more so didn't know what I was doing. Uh, so in the kind of time we have left, one, just wanted to say congratulations again because it's a
Thank
really
you.
fun movie and just feels like a happy summer movie and
Yeah, for sure.
kind of needed right now. Like, you know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
to leave and be like, I like my friends and I kind of want some pasta. Like that's a good feeling to have.
Uh-huh.
Uh, but
Absolutely.
what I wanted to ask is, so let's say, this obviously is going to do very well, and someone comes to you and says, we want to be in your business. Like, what do you want to do? Is there a project that you would want to do if someone kind of gave you freedom to say, you can play any part you want?
That's a good question because that's like what I want to do when I'm older is I kind of want to kind of work in like the directing and film writing industry.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, that's something that I've been like becoming kind of passionate about lately. So yeah, to be able to have like ultimate creative freedom is like really, really awesome. So yeah, to just like be able to make your own role, I guess, or like even your own story would be really, really special. But I guess obviously to play like an awesome action hero would be awesome anytime.
I mean, yeah, that could definitely happen. And to your directing point, a lot of the people you worked with have then made, directed movies. So it's not like you don't have the ability to be like, hey, Bree, remember how you
Yeah,
owed me one? I want to get a
yeah.
movie made. Come
One
play. Awesome. But yeah, congratulations again. And I look forward to that action movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. My pleasure. Thank you again, man.